my name is Brianna Sinclair, and this is my 48th week on HRT. If you like my content, please like, comment, subscribe. On my channel, I post mostly transgender content, and if you want, you can join me on my Blue Sky or my Discord. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. I want to preemptively apologize. I'm not wearing any makeup because I can't. My face and my neck are agitated due to electrolysis that I just started, so... and this is after like a week of healing. I assumed that it would be a lot more healed up by now, but it was not. But I wanted to continue this video because this is actually very important to me to finish, and please be gentle with your comments as this is a very euphoric moment for me. Sorry, dysphoric moment for me because I do not like not wearing makeup and doing these. So, quick measurements update. My hips are 35 inches, my bust is 36 3/4, and my waist is 24 3/4. So there hasn't been any change between my measurements between last week and this week, which is perfectly fine. I'm happy with the changes I've seen so far. Of course, I do want more changes because I would like to be more feminine. As of like right now, I am watching myself in the camera, and I wish that like I had more changes because I still see a boy in certain aspects, which is honestly okay because I haven't really had any procedures done. All I've been on is HRT, and I'm starting electrolysis. And as you can see, it's a very interesting process that has not long-term effects, sure, but also has a good like recovery time. Because initially she did here, and then agitated my entire neck, and then she did here, and then here because we were starting to do like my mustache area. Because I wanted to get to the point where like I didn't have to color correct my face anymore. I was excited. I started electrolysis after a year, and this is due, mostly what I think, due to the fact that my HRT has caused my skin to be soft, so what she might have been used to wouldn't necessarily apply towards me at that time because my skin is considerably softer. This I don't think was really avoidable, specifically because she said that she had turned down the machine to like the lowest setting because it was gonna hurt no matter what. And I'm so glad that she did, because if this is what it did on the lowest setting, I cannot imagine what it would do if it was like this. Yeah. My emotional state, I would say my emotional state is very stable. For the most part. I will say that the amount I care about what other people think is definitely dropping, because I think it's just mostly due to spite out of like where I am, if that makes sense. Because I'm in the South, I don't like the fact that like my rights were taken away, my surgeries are being threatened, and same with like my HRT, it's also like in a way being threatened. And all I'm simply trying to do is just live my life in peace. I'm not trying to be some pervert or anything like that. I don't want to see the women naked. I don't want to see anyone's boobs. I can look at my own. I have my own boobs. I don't need someone else's just to be like, ooh, that's a very masculine guy thing to do. Granted, I do mostly like women. That's not looking at boobs doesn't really do anything for me like that anymore. Hair reduction. Across my body, yes, I have noticed a significant amount of hair reduction, and I'm hoping that with electrolysis, it kind of speeds up the process. Initially, like, I would grow hair everywhere. Now it just seems kind of mostly localized to here, where it's the thickest, and there is, like, a little bit on my neck and my underside. I'm having another round of electrolysis tomorrow, but I'm going to tell her that we're not doing the same areas, we're going to do different areas, because these are not fully recovered yet, and that makes me uncomfortable. So I would like to either like knock out like here or like my chin area, so that way like that portion is done. And I'm hoping that if we chisel away at each one, then at some point it'll be a lot easier, because we've done enough damage to individual spots where if we can just cover everything all at once in like an hour-long session, which is kind of what I get. I get an hour-long session with my electrolysis tech, and she goes as quickly as she can. We are trying a different method, she said, for up here, specifically because it was not supposed to cause that much damage. And she didn't really describe it too well to me. She just told me like it involves me holding like, I guess like a grounding rod, is kind of what I got from what she was telling me. I do apologize. I know my face is swollen, and so is my neck. I'm so sorry, y'all. Breast growth. I have not noticed any breast growth this month. Or sorry, not this month, this week. Specifically, and I think that's specifically this week. And I think that's due to like, if my breasts were still growing, I think they're still dropping. I have noticed my areolas are starting to like widen a little bit. So there's that aspect. I'm not sure what to do with that knowledge other than just report it and record it. My fat redistribution, I haven't noticed anything between last week and this week as of yet. But overall, most of the fat that I've seen displaced has been either to my face, obviously my chest, and a little bit in my hip area. Not a lot, but a little bit. Yeah, I think that's all that I have to say on that one. That one's a little bit harder to report because it's such a slow process, so it's kind of like the only way to like really observe that one is to kind of like look back and notice it, which I occasionally do. Sex drive. Sex drive is, it's normal to an extent. Like, I can still perform and do everything as I normally would. I just have to have that emotional connection still. I have noticed my sex drive starting to drop a little bit, which is fine. It's less annoying. I'm more productive. I don't think about being intimate in that way with people anymore like that. It's mostly like if I view someone as a partner, yes, I can view them in that aspect, but in no way, shape, or form can I just do that with a random person, or if someone I find like physically attractive. That's a different discussion, kind of. It's more like, yes, they're physically attractive, but like, because I'm demisexual, they also have to be like emotionally and mentally attractive to me. And so yeah, like right now I can admit like, yes, I would think Johnny Depp is attractive, or Brad Pitt is attractive, but they don't do anything for me, specifically because I don't know them that way. I don't know them at all like that, and as much as, like, anyone can say, like, yes, this person looks good, or that person looks good, like, it's more than just physical, for me. This guy, I guess, is kind of a roundabout way to put that. Being tired, still very much kind of a thing, starting to not be a thing, which is nice. I think I'm starting to get used to my new low testosterone levels again. But it is what it is, and I'm happy for it. I need to stop drinking energy drinks again. Muscle development, I haven't noticed any real decrease. At least not recently. I know my arms have gotten smaller, but I'm still lean as all get out, and still have this insane masculine look in my arms. But it is what it is, and that's okay. Voice therapy, I'm still practicing, still trying to, like, improve upon my voice and actually, like, be able to pass with my voice. Whenever I get all dressed up, it's my voice that gives me away. It is not the way I look or the way I act, it's my voice. And then whenever they hear me speak, usually that's whenever they're like, oh, this is a transgender woman. This used to be a boy. And then that's whenever, like, people will say he and him and stuff like that. And that doesn't really bother me because at the makeup store job, I can always, like, mess with their account just a little bit. Just so they receive more notifications and a little bit more things that, like, annoy them that I think is funny. Because if you're going to annoy me and be disrespectful, I feel no obligation to be respectful towards you. And since I can't openly be disrespectful towards people that misgender me, especially whenever I'm dressed up, I feel it's fair to go about it my way. I'm petty. I'm smart. And I'm talking about it here because I'm quitting my makeup store job in a little over a week. And for me, that's okay. I'm gonna miss it. I've enjoyed that place tremendously. They've done a lot for me. They taught me how to do makeup. They gave me good fashion sense. They gave me purpose, an extra form of income, and a place to be feminine. They were so accepting of me, and it didn't matter. I showed up. My pronouns were he and him because I didn't want to make anyone uncomfortable. And then as I transitioned, I started HRT. I only changed my pronouns, and then later on I changed my name, and it was just like that. Like the next day I had a name tag with my new name on it. Everyone at work knows me as Brianna. And I'm happy to be called Brianna, honestly. Something I'm still getting used to is my new long hair. This is actually my hair, which is actually very interesting. I got extensions, and to have long hair feels actually very interesting. I haven't never had hair this long. The last time I had long hair was before I got my career. I had hair that was like down to here, but I had to cut it all off because that was a requirement. boys could not have long hair. Now that I'm transitioning and I have my exceptional policy, I can have long hair. I can do these things, and I enjoy it. Now that I've got long hair, all I do is put it in a bun. I'm excited to actually continue on with my journey. It's a little hard right now because of everything that's going on, but I'm going to get through it. Not even one way or another. I'm going to get through it in the best way I possibly can. And that's just to put one foot in front of the other. In coordinating a lot of my transition and stuff, I've kind of learned a lot, and I've been just essentially trying to figure out how to find my FFS, since my job kind of barred me from getting FFS. But I hope that changes. I do hope that changes, because it's a rough process without being able to get FFS. These surgeries should not be this expensive, because I don't feel like people who you should be paying this much for a surgery. Because it makes it unattainable, or almost gatekeep. I get there has to be a cost, but for many, the cost of some of these surgeries is more than they make in an entire year. I was quoted $60,000 for my FFS procedure from a doctor if I paid out of pocket, and it was over $120,000 if insurance were to cover it. For my breast augmentation, I know I could probably get that done for less than 10. And same with BBL or butt implants. Electrolysis, I think I'm going to switch over to, instead of doing an hour session. I think my ex-wife is booking me and her these power hour sessions where we get 2 technicians for 8 hours, and we pay them $1,200 or something like that for the whole time. It might sound weird, but as I go through my transition, it is definitely noticeably harder for people to misgender me. And I think that's actually very interesting, because I do feel myself growing more feminine. I can notice it. I have my androgynous days, and that's kind of where I'm at right now, because I can't do my makeup because my face is swollen and healing from my electrolysis, and I opted to record this without my makeup because I didn't want my makeup to dry out or damage my skin any more than it already is. But I hope. Excuse me. I hope something happens and I can finally get my surgeries. Because I would just want to finish my transition and be happy. That's all that's there to report this week. If you like my content, please like, comment, subscribe. If you'd like to, you can follow me on my Blue Sky, my Discord. If there's anything that you would like for me to cover, please drop those topics down into the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to cover them. And with that being said, this is Brianna Sinclair, signing off.